every second of every game.
Play action fake dropping as Brady wants to throw long. Throws it deep downfield. Got a wide open. It's caught ball. Juggled and incomplete. Mike Evans frustrated. He had it at his fingertips. It would have been a touchdown.
To work hard. You have to have discipline, commitment, mental and physical toughness. Those are character traits. And we have a lot of great guys in the locker room. So we're going to go in tomorrow morning. We've got a short week. We've got to work hard to try to fix it.
Jackson in a shotgun set. Bobble snap. Retreats. He's under pressure. He's 20. Sidearms and intercepted.
I feel like this whole season we've been driving the ball down the field. It's just been a red zone or a little bit outside the red zone. We just got to finish there. But we're making progress, But like I said, we don't want tuck kicking field goals for that to be our points. We want 7 points each and every time we're out there on that field.
Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media.
Welcome, everybody. Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media here on the Bettor Sports Network. Shout out to the Ravens and Buccaneers radio networks and Tom Brady and Lamar Jackson, who gave us those quotes to use before we got here. Nando Fino, Corey Parson. We got a fun show today. We're going to have Shayna Goldman here. We're going to talk hockey. We're going to do our first hockey stuff, some futures, basically. Nothing crazy. Shayna's great. She's a really cool analytical person from the Athletic, who is the reigning fantasy hockey writer of the year, Corey. How about that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And she's an excellent writer. And we let her swear in the column from time to time. So said, you want to come on? She said, absolutely. We're going to talk a little Jake Paul. He fights Saturday night. It's actually, it's Anderson Silva, who's a 47 UFC guy. I think you and I are both kind of like, we don't know anything about UFC, really. But
no, it's not my strong point. Yeah,
but
I know
who Anderson
name.
Silva, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be good. I had to write a story about Jake Paul. The more I wrote, the more I started to like Jake Paul, actually. I don't know where you stand on Jake Paul, but
I don't mind Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? Don't be fooling people saying that you just some amateur getting in the ring and you're really a boxer, you train and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't got no problem with him. I think I like what he does. You know what I'm saying? I think it's entertainment. So I'm not going to pay for it, but I think it's entertainment.
I'll tell you what, man, the undercard, we'll get into this later, but the undercard is Le'Veon Bell's going to be fighting again. A UFC guy who actually beat Silva, I think, in Silva's last fight. Feel free to fact check anyone out there who knows more about UFC than I do. And then this guy who's like People's World's sexiest doctor, this guy, Dr. Mike, is going to be fighting on the undercard and donating all of his profits to Boys and Girls Club.
That's cool. That's nice.
Yeah, right? Let's order it, man.
Not ordering that, no.
All right. Fine. And then
you go order it?
Tony, look, let's be honest. It's $60.
That's not bad.
I would like to talk about it on Monday and like what we saw and what happened. And so I believe I can use that against my taxes when tax time comes as a deduction.
So what? It come on Saturday.
Attorney.
It come out Saturday night. It come on Saturday night.
Saturday night. I think it starts at 8. It's on show. You got to get the Showtime app. It's like Showtime pay-per-view. Yeah, it's I think he's at 11:20. I think he and Silva are scheduled to actually start. It's in Arizona. They've already set the sales record for that arena in Arizona, which dubious honor, but whatever.
Yeah, I might do it then. If it's $60, I might do it. It's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna be talking about it Saturday night, it's a lot of NFL preview. Depends on what the late college football game is, but it's a good chance I'll join you in that, Nando.
You go right from college football to Jake Paul, go to bed, wake up, and it's good, and we're ready to go. We're ready to rock. Are you hosting? You're hosting Sunday. What time are you hosting?
I'm actually off this weekend, Nando.
Hey, nice. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Also, you sound better.
Well, it's been coming along, you know what I'm saying, day by day, you know what I'm saying, getting my rest, taking medicine, you know what I mean, working on my vocal cords. And I think we're in a pretty decent spot now. Still a little bit of COVID left in there, but it's almost gone.
So it was COVID? That's what we're calling it now?
No, it was. All
right.
I mean, that's what everything is. That's what everything is nowadays. But we're actually doing good though.
Hey, Kadarius Toney has been traded to the Kansas City Chiefs.
How about that?
I guess I'm gonna wager that he's gonna be miraculously healed. Maybe if by not this week, then by next, 100%. Right?
Yeah, if he's on the waiver wire, I give him a shot. I pick him up. Obviously, there's somebody that they were willing to add in the middle of the season. Must mean they have some plans for him.
36 is no joke, man. That's no joke. the 3rd and a 6th, for a guy the Giants don't want, like, you could have just been like, yeah, we'll give you like a 7th.
Yeah. No, I think it's an interesting trade. I wonder why the Giants didn't want him.
So, like, why didn't the Jags want James Robinson? It just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the coach, I assume.
Maybe that was the case. I guess Andy Reid is definitely going to try to do something with it. Now, they do have a lot of mouths to feed in that offense.
Yeah.
So I would tip up my expectations, but I would like to see what his role is, and I think he's worth a speculative ad. If you have the roster real estate.
Do you remember, like, and this might be like 8 years ago at this point, when Tyreek Hill first came up, he was like a gadget player for like the first few years. He was like the X. They were trying to use him as a do this, do that. Basically what Deebo Samuel is now, but without like the established wide receivering.
Yeah.
I assume that's what they're going to do with Kadarius Toney. Is just he'll take some carries away from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Maybe it was like Kadarius Toney or Cam Akers, and they were like, we need some running back help one way or another. Like maybe the way to do it is get Toney, give him like 6 carries a game, and then
can he run the ball out the backfield like that though?
He had 3 carries last year, and he had 2 already this year in the one game that he played. That's 5, and like I think maybe like 5 career. I don't even know how many career games he's played, but I mean, he's played. Well, he's okay. I guess he's played 12 career games. He started 5.
Well, you got to get into a rhythm to run the football like that. You know what I'm saying? If that's not your natural position. But whatever. Like I said, they went and got him, so they must have plans for him. But their wide receiver room is loaded right now. So I said, a speculative ad, but temper expectations.
I don't know, man. Maybe something's going on that we don't know about. Also, I mean, like who's he going to be behind? Really? Like in that, like Juju Smith-Schuster has been okay lately, but whatever. Marcus Valdes-Scantling has been. I think we can call him a bust.
He can
He
can probably jump MVS.
Yeah, and Juju Smith-Schuster, I mean, it's so hot and cold. Travis Kelce's the guy.
He's still there and he's playing Juju. So Kadarius Toney has to get implemented. But I like I said, I think it's worthy. I think it's worthy of, if you have the roster real estate, I definitely think it's worthy of a speculative ad.
If you play in a league where you can get number 1 waiver wire priority, like you do waiver wire priority, let's say you have 1, 2, or 3, and it resets every week. Would you jump on? Would you use that number 1 waiver wire priority on Kadarius Toney tonight?
I don't know.
Is he that big of a priority?
No, I would not say it's that big of a priority.
All right.
I don't think he's a season changer. I don't think he's a league winner. I think it could be a nice piece going through the bye weeks.
Have we gotten Tennessee's practice report yet? I forgot to check before. I want to know if Tannehill didn't DNP again.
That'd be interesting if he did.
I mean, that could be maybe your number 1 waiver priority is on Malik Willis.
That could be it.
If you didn't pick him up like we told you to.
Mm-hmm. We've been saying for a while to stash him on the end of the bench. He could be somebody that's relevant down the stretch. I think it's probably going to take a little bit more. Tannehill did come back into that game this past weekend. So that would lead you to believe that, that was a veteran rest day yesterday.
Yep.
But we'll find out.
I don't know. He might have come back and then just been like, no. This is who just did that? The dude who came, like he played that half a game and he's like, no, I'm out. I can't. Who was it?
Tua.
And he was out for the season. It was a big star. He wasn't a quarterback though. I think he was like a wide receiver, running back. Like dude should not be playing. And he somehow played like the next week. And then he was out. I'll figure it out.
Michael Thomas.
No, it wasn't Michael Thomas. It was someone else. Man. All right, I'll figure it out. We'll get on it. I'll during the break. We'll take a look. What's going on in your world, man?
It isn't much chilling. I got some cards in the mail today, but nothing spectacular was pulled. Just some good stuff, but nothing spectacular. I told you I was going back to 2018 and 2020. Yeah. I did get a red, white, and blue Zach Moss.
All right, nice.
But it's a running back. I'd much rather that be a quarterback. Yeah.
I think it would rather be like James Cook maybe at this point.
Well, if you're going into that 2018 class, that's
right.
That was the 2020 NFL class. That's Zach Moss. But it should have been Joe Burrow. Now that we would have had something then, you know what I'm saying?
I'll be rooting for you. But I'm currently winning. I forgot what. I don't know if I still have him down. Yeah. Remember this beautiful 1960 All-Star design right here? This Roger Maris that I got?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, they have all the players, like, the same. Like, look, like the more you look at it, you see, like, that the drop shadow that he's got going on, like that outline on his bat. It's a very modern look, I think. Anyway, I just like how they look. And even, like, the ones, this is a PSA 5, and it looks great. So I'm currently winning. I lost the Mickey Mantle. I lost the other Roger Maris, but I'm winning 2 Willie Mazes right now.
And Willie Mays is the dude that Salfino likes a lot as far as the vintage stuff, right?
And dude, like, of course, yesterday they announced that the Willie Mays documentary is coming out, and ever since the Jordan thing, everyone's like, "Oh, documentary, got to go buy his cards."
Yeah,
and so I'm just sitting here waiting for idiots to bid me up in anticipation of a Willie Mays documentary upping his card value. So we'll know in 7 hours and 22 minutes.
My sale ended last night, netted $200. So you know what I'm saying?
It's great.
Now I had to mail that stuff off this morning. Well, most of it was the stuff that was paid for already. But it looks like everybody's going to pay. Don't fall, Nando.
No, it wasn't. You know what it was?
Oh, okay.
My ring light.
Oh, the ring light.
Yes, I got to get that set up still. I got my ring light. I got my new fancy camera, right?
And you have your board too.
I got the board. Here's the genius move I did with the camera. Like I forgot, like I got the connection, but I don't have the it's not USB old fashioned in this computer. It's USB-C. So I'm waiting for another cord on that.
You know what? I mean,
all tax write-offs. Thank you.
You know what I mean? To talk about this all week, Nando. Tomorrow is homecoming here in town, the high school homecoming.
Nice.
Well, I didn't really think much of it because it's like for the most part, it's like a afternoon thing. It just so happens that tomorrow the homecoming parade begins at 4:00 Eastern time.
Oh,
wow.
You want to do it live from the parade?
So we're going to be on air while the parade is going on.
You got to turn it to face the window. That's amazing.
So I was trying to think, like, what should we do? You know what I mean? I don't want to broadcast from outside because it's like it's too loud because there's a parade going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if we can do some live look-ins, maybe we can send an extra link and then somebody can be outside on the phone.
Are you going to find someone to just sit there and hold a phone for the parade?
Not the whole parade. We can check in. My pops would do it.
Well, how far? I mean, like what we could do. Well, it's probably too late now to get like a tripod and put another phone on there and just set it up there and have it as like another camera we can bring in and out like it's a guest, you know?
We might be able to do that too.
Like we're the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade.
Yeah, it's right here. Kids riding on the top of the cars and stuff like that.
Yeah, Corey, right over here, Corey, the Dairy Princess.
Yeah, exactly.
Janice
stuff
Smith.
Like that. Yeah, Miss Home Economics. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah,
stuff like that will be going on.
She beat out 17 other local girls to be Miss Economics 2022.
So we can be parade broadcasters tomorrow if we want to do that. We'll probably need to huddle up and have a meeting first, but it will be a little bit loud tomorrow.
Let's contact the
best
PR
way to
people
do it is to have them down. There's no PR. It's just a high school, and luckily, if they start on time, have them download the app on the phone they're going to use and call in that way.
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah, we can do that.
What we could do is give everyone $20, give like 40 people $20 to be our stringers. Yeah. And then we'll get 20 more downloads of the app. It'll be great.
Well, we have $20. Yeah, that would be a lot of money, but trust me, they'll take it.
Well, it's all part of the budget, right?
They will definitely take it. So, but this is like,
oh, you know what?
Like in the middle of the parade route, like this is where they would stop to perform at. You know what I'm saying? If it was the Macy's joint,
amazing.
Yeah, so I'm right on in the center of the. I was thinking about painting some of the areas of the porch tonight, but I don't really feel like getting into all of that.
Didn't you just paint your porch for regular homecoming?
Yeah,
But I still
the white part, like the banisters, but the actual railings, I was thinking about doing that too.
What are the school colors? You should run to Home Depot and just get like little samples of the school colors and do every other thing.
There's no running to Home Depot.
Blue,
the nearest Home Depot is probably an hour and a half from here.
Oh man, that's crazy, really? Dude, you really are like every day I learn something new about how isolated you are.
Yeah, Home Depot. They have a Home Depot in Florence, so you're about 55 minutes from here would be the nearest. Oh yeah, you do have a Home Depot there. About 55 minutes from here. Yeah.
All right, that's a hike. Never mind. They should actually have a Home Depot truck, like roll through like some of these other towns.
They got a Lowe's in Sumter. It's about 25 minutes from here.
All right,
Maybe
well,
they
that's
have
the
the
same
same
thing
type
then.
of
Yeah, what's the
stuff.
difference?
Yeah, they have the same type of stuff, probably. Yeah,
There's no brand loyalty. They all have paint. Like, what do you? And there's also True Value 2 minutes away. I guess yeah.
No, there's no true value. Well, we got a hardware store. You know what I mean? But you got to be careful with that
Yeah,
hardware
they
store.
also have paint,
That
man.
hardware store, you got to be careful with that hardware store.
All right,
It's been around for a little while. How can I help you, young man?
Okay, fine, fair enough. All right, cool. Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited for that. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll check in a couple of times.
Hey, how about those Lakers?
They
Russell did not play and they still lost.
And they still lost. But you notice when Russell was out, the number went in the opposite direction. Didn't I tell you that was going to happen?
Yeah, you did.
When he was out, it went from 6.5 to 5.5, which is very embarrassing.
Well,
but
what do you do at this point?
It's a lot. It's a lot. I would guess that at some point, LeBron James is going to be like, trade me. You know what I mean? And try to get traded back to the Eastern Conference.
LeBron James GM?
That's the problem.
Who's he going to tell the trade?
Yeah. Well, he's going to try to be the GM of two teams now. My guess is he's going to try to go back to Cleveland. Yeah, I can see him trying to go back to Cleveland.
I think it's Clippers or bust for him, man, because I think he's so into like movies and stuff now that like he doesn't want to leave LA, right?
That's a good case as well, but I would say he wants to get out the Western Conference because you don't want to have to go through Steph Curry. So you'd rather face the Warriors in the finals as opposed to the conference finals. Yeah. So I would guess that LeBron would try to make a move to either Cleveland or Chicago before the year is over.
All right. We'll see. We'll find out. Hey, I bet you there are odds somewhere on that.
Oh, maybe he just be like, you know what? I don't care. My son is in school out here. The kids is doing this and that. Right. I don't feel like flying everybody all over the place. Even though at this age he doesn't have to because the kids is big and grown and he can come home or they can call him on FaceTime or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But if he wants, well, I don't want to say clearly he's active, you know what I mean? But maybe he says, you know what? I'm here. 1 year left on this deal. I'm cool. Sit it out. But I can see him trying to make a play to get to Cleveland or Chicago to see if he can make a run at another championship.
Would he mess those teams up or would he actually help them at this point?
I think he would actually mess Cleveland up.
Really?
It's interesting how Cleveland came back. He left Cleveland, and Cleveland actually put it together. And they have a better team right now than what the Lakers had. Had a better team last year. Chicago, they could really use him in Chicago. Chicago has a depth issue. So you put him and DeMar DeRozan out there. I think in Chicago, so I would wonder what a Chicago Bull fan would feel about that, though.
I don't know.
If there's a Chicago Bull fan in the audience, if you can call in, let us know what you would think about adding LeBron James. I think that could be interesting. But it's the Lakers need a rebuild 100%.
You think we're going to see Phil Jackson? Phil Jackson again?
I would hope not.
I don't know. I know how you feel about Phil Jackson. I just don't know if LeBron James is sitting here as a GM now. How far away is it from Phil Jackson coming back?
Yeah. Well, I would think that Miss Bust still talks to Phil Jackson. I would think that he's one of the people she confides in.
I want to see. I don't see any more to make the playoff odds, but I wonder. Here we go. Wins playoffs to make the playoffs. What do you think the Lakers are to make the playoffs?
Probably plus 650, plus 550. Nah, probably plus 400.
Plus 400?
Yeah.
LA Lakers plus 140 on DraftKings.
That's it?
Yeah. I guess you're better off going no minus 175 seems like the value here, right?
Yeah, but that is the value, but my goodness. Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for them to make it.
Here's the regular season wins. I don't understand how these are ordered at all. Regular season's wins are over 40.5 is plus 125.
Man, if the Lakers can't win 41 games, they should be able to win 41 games.
Yeah.
That's a 500 team right there. 500 bottom of the Western Conference team. Well, when I say bottom of the West, like a 9-10 seed, a 41 win team. Right now they're on 4 though. You see, they're a big root, so you can get people in. But the thing with a big root like the Lakers is, Nando, when it starts going bad, people turn on them quick.
Yeah. Lakers and the Blazers both have these same odds to participate in the play-in tournament, minus 155 each.
Yeah, I can see them being a play-in tournament team with an early
Really,
exit.
they're not. It's like a disaster that's not going to do anything. It's going to be just they can still make the playoffs. They can still be playing team.
Well, if they would have to do a lot, and you have to get Russell Westbrook off the team first, but then you would need to bring some pieces back. They need some shooting on that team. They can't shoot. They might have made like three pointers in the whole season. Like, you know what I mean? Like your best player is an elder statesman now. There's no youth on the team.
Your best player is your GM.
Yeah, exactly.
that's like Pete Rose in 1985. You know, like
exactly. So
the player coach. That's pretty bad. You ready? World Series tomorrow? Have you done anything with that?
No, I haven't done anything with it yet. But I'm not going for the Houston Astros. Now, do I put a couple dollars on the Phillies?
Dusty Baker, like it's like a new like it's it's a different regime. It's Dusty Baker. Feel good story, man.
No, it's not for me.
You want to hear the awards?
I would love to.
All right, hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. I had it. I lost it to pull up the NBA. Oh, I got it. Hold on one second. Team Futures season. Where's awards? Game props. Hold on one second, man. I lost it all.
They're paying Dusty well to save that franchise because nobody would want to fool with him if Dusty wasn't there.
I lost awards. My bad.
So we'll have
to come back.
Jalen says that doubt LeBron leaves the Lakers. I can see that being the case as well, where he's like, you know what, I just stay out here and suck it up. You know what I mean? Because like I said, he got the son out there that and Jalen would agree with that.
Bronny,
they might change the rule this year, so Bronny could be in the NBA in a couple seasons. Here's the thing with that though. It's like, okay, so you say I want to play on the same team as my son.
Right.
So now the team that gets the first pick of the draft, what do? They
take that guy we've been talking about.
See what I'm saying? Like,
you're saying like if the Lakers get the first pick?
Yeah. Well, not even the Lakers, any team, because LeBron's on a 1-year deal.
Well, I think it's more like if you got the third pick, right? Like, because first
that's
pick
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, now you're like, okay, but he has to do college first. So now LeBron's a free agent. And then Bronny's likely not going to be the top pick. So now does the tag team possibility get LeBron to does that make LeBron the number one pick? Does that make Bronny the top pick because we get LeBron as well?
I thought you were talking about it the other way around, where like, let's take Bronny because we know the GM of the Lakers will pay us anything to get this kid. You know what I mean? Like we could get like a 20% boost in value because we know one guy in particular really wants Bronny on their team.
If I was Bronny, I wouldn't want to play with him.
I don't know. It worked out in Space Jam. I understand that wasn't Bronny.
It tends to work out. It tends to work out in Space Jam.
Eventually he came around.
Space Jam.
Yeah. Did you saw the new Space Jam, right?
No, I have not seen it yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. My bad.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Got World Series odds for you.
Sure.
Here's what I find interesting. World Series MVP is not like the plus 600. Bryce Harper plus 600 is the favorite. Yordan Alvarez plus 650. Kyle Tucker 1,000. Verlander's 1,000. I mean, like Jose Altuve is plus 1,400. It's a strange, like Zach Wheeler's the next. You're gonna go 1,800 to Zach Wheeler. Aaron Nola's 1,800. I don't know. Do you like? I just figure like it's Bryce Harper's destiny right now, man. I would put something.
Yeah,
on
I kind of agree with that, Nando. I think it's Bryce Harper's destiny as well. I would agree with you on that. I think that's the play to make. I think the Phillies are the play to make. I think Bryce is the play to make. I feel like he's coming in. We're coming into a Bryce Harper season right here.
Yeah.
The next couple of weeks is probably going to be all about him. So congratulations to him for that. That's the way I would like it to play out, and I think that's the way that I would ultimately bet it.
I have several Bryce Harper cards. I just on a hunch, but I still think this is going to be like the World Series that Bryce Harper becomes like when people start comparing him to Mickey Mantle, like asking if he's like a top 5 pick in fantasy next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's so strange because he's been around forever and he was anointed a superstar and he basically did everything a superstar should do. But I think this is the one where people look at him like, oh, this guy's actually kind of fun and awesome.
I agree.
Like he's Mickey Mantle. He's our Mickey Mantle.
Passionate. Yeah, exactly. He's a passionate player, loves the game, willing to get back out there, has the ability to be a statesman. He plays for a franchise that is very recognizable franchise
Yeah.
with the Fightins. So I think he's in a good spot right now to be Bryce Harper.
Because he went from
But the Astros is tough. The Astros is tough. No matter how much the feel-good story is, the Astros want to win too. And there's some pistols to get them out of there.
They want to win one for the Gipper.
Yeah, exactly. Not cover one, win one for the Gipper.
Right.
It's
yeah,
different,
this is like the Dusty Baker Destiny story.
Speaking of the Bronny right quick, Nano, to go back to Bronny.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, we talked about NIL, right? Name, image, license for Bronny. It's already started. It's going to be crazy. Same thing goes for Arch Manning. Name, image, license for Arch Manning is going to be crazy as well. But can you imagine the Bronny and Arch Manning rookie cards when they first come out? There are going to be hot topics. Like they're going to be the price of those boxes. Any box is going to have a Bronny or a Arch Manning rookie card in it. It's going to be priced up because those are going to be collectors are going to be coming, especially with those two big names like that.
But we're going to be talking like Bowman U, right? Like what if Arch Manning signs an exclusive deal with Leaf? He could only autograph Leaf.
Wow, that'd be crazy.
But I mean, that could like flip it. That's I got this Trevor Lawrence card. Like he had just left college. It was technically his first card made, but it's not like no one respects it as his rookie card. You know what I mean? I think it was from a high school all-star game. Something crazy like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
well, I think it's good to have something like that.
Yeah.
But obviously, that first one in the uniform is really going to be the true rookie right there. Right. So Bronny's, let's just say Utah Jazz, his first Utah Jazz prism is going to go crazy. Yeah. Arch Manning's first San Francisco 49er prism is going to go crazy.
Right. Nobody cares about the college.
I think you'll get some love for it when it first comes out. It would be good to have if you got the bread like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't think but who's going to want like 10 years from now? Are you going to be like, well, I got to get myself that Arch Manning first year at Texas card.
Yeah.
That Sage made.
See, I don't want that.
Yeah, neither do I.
Maybe, you get like the college national treasures after he left, and you get like the Longhorn patch in the middle. Right. That could be something to hold on to. But it's going to be that first NFL card that I think the true rookie. I think those for Arch Manning and Bronny James, I think they're going to be big time collectors. Collectibles are going to be are really going to be hot on the trail of those. And by the next time these come out, Fanatics is going to have control of the game. Everything. So it's going to be interesting to see how Fanatics handles these two soon-to-be megastar young athletes.
But you know what? Like it's like we go back to Bryce Harper. Tie this together before we take a break and get Shayna in here. Like Bryce Harper's rookie cards you can get for nothing. You know what I mean? Like Bryce Harper's really, it should be worth a lot more, but they're not. Like that 2011
Bryce Harper first. Bryce Harper pops wasn't LeBron James.
Yeah, it's true. That's a good point. And the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card, we know what happened there, man.
Yeah, it's a legendary one. You know what I'm saying? It's one that people talk about.
Patrick Mahomes, we know what happened there.
Even Patty Mahomes, you know what I mean? Josh Allen, you can't find Josh Allen now.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes' dad was Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, from the Mets, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Not the same as LeBron James.
I know,
but he played it out well on the field. The champion. So as Fanatics is sitting on the gold mine with these two kids getting ready to come up, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. So let's take a break. Shayna Goldman, we're going to switch gears to hockey and talk about, we don't know anything. We're basically going to be taught hockey as much as we can be. And I think we're just going to play with Shayna. Like whatever she says, I'm just going to, $5 here, $5 there, make a little parlay card out of some stuff.
I'm with it. Let's do it.
And by the way, like you can play NHL on Jock Market, which offers live daily markets for sports, let you buy and sell shares of athletes in real time with other users, all for real money. And each share has a guaranteed payout at the end of the night. Download now using promo code FRIENDS to receive 100% deposit match up to $100. Your first market will also be risk-free with losses refunded up to $100. Download the Jock Market app now using promo code FRIENDS. And if you're listening on the app, you can just click the button. It'll take you right there. Yeah, Shayna Goldman coming up on the flip side. I don't know if we can squeeze in jock market talk, but who knows, Corey? Maybe.
We'll try. They got a slate tonight, so we'll see what's up.
We'll be right back after this.
Bettor Sports Network is sponsored by Jock Market.
Co-founder of Jock Market, Dave. What's up, man?
Hey guys, how are you doing? Thanks for having me.
Doing?
Thank you for
coming on.
sponsoring the show on the network and everything, man. We much appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have one of your I don't know what you should call him, not a sycophant really, maybe a disciple, maybe I don't know, John Legueza on once in a while, and he is like
he's on it,
like all in caps Jock Market, and like his enthusiasm for it. I mean, look, like I remember we had Jock Market sponsor one of the athletic shows a while ago too, so I was familiar with the game, but he is like, man, the proselytizer big time of your game.
Yeah, right from the jump. The second we first started talking to him, it was very clear it was a match. He got the game. It was like right, he's a big stock guy too, so the crossover between that and him making picks every day, it's really like a match, perfect match for us.
That's cool. That's what's up. Me and Nando, we've talked to. I mean, we've been doing shows for a long time. I remember back in the day interviewing Nigel and Jason Robbins and all of that stuff. And one of the interesting things when we talked to Nigel was hearing about the story of FanDuel and how it kind of came about at South by Southwest. How did Jock Market come about? Where did the thought process come from? Like, what were you into at the time? What were you looking to do? How did Jock Market become to be the app that's on our phones today?
Yeah, no, great question. So, working with my co-founder Tyler at our previous company, we played a lot of DraftKings and FanDuel on our own, and obviously we liked it. We loved playing, but figured there were other ways out there, other ways to play that'd be more interesting. And we've also both been interested in investing for a long time, and it was kind of crazy that the stock market and sports concept hadn't really been. I mean, it'd been people had tried it before, but that it hadn't really worked. And then the daily fantasy spin really showed us an opportunity to make it work, where you can have an intrinsic value for those shares. So you have people coming and buying in shares, but if it's a perpetual market, the shares never pay out. It's kind of hard to figure out what they'll be worth. But in a daily market, you buy those shares, in the afternoon. By that evening, for the most part, they're going to pay out real cash. So you have an intrinsic value. I think this is going to be worth X dollars by the end of the night. So now I have a number I can come and pay for it. So that's really where we saw the opportunity. It's just a matter of making the game work within fantasy sports regulations and making it fun and interesting and give people the opportunity to make money by playing.
Jock Market, stay in the game. Corey, Nando, and friends, presented by Mayo Media on Bettor Sports Network.
Here comes McCarr with Sherwood. McCarr saved by Grubauer. Rebound, goal. Heatland's just come on. Matthews to the net. Saves Shesterkin. Reprada saves Shesterkin. In comes Matthews along with Nylander and Riley. Matthews works it and fires, scores! Austin Matthews, overtime winner. There's quick pass. McDavid the one-timer. And he puts it top shelf. 3-0 Edmonton.
Corey, Nando, and friends, presented by Mayo Media.
Welcome back, everybody. Corey, Nando, and friends on Bettor Sports Network. Thanks to ESPN, Sportsnet, MSG Networks. Those were, Corey, ready for this? Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, Cole Makar, and Igor Shesterkin, obviously, of the Rangers.
I don't know them people.
Yeah, I know them all. We're joined now by the reigning fantasy hockey writer of the year, Shayna Goldman, who hosts the Too Many Men podcast. It's a video cast now, really, isn't it, Shayna?
Yeah, it's both.
Both. Perfect. And she writes, she writes a weekly column, obviously on the waiver wire, but also, slums it with regular hockey stuff too during the week.
Nice.
As well. Shayna, thanks for joining us. This is very kind of you.
Welcome to the program. Thank you.
Thaning for having me. It's easy when my favorite editor asks me.
That's your favorite editor?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think longest reigning editor, too.
Wow, longest reigning editor. Look at that, Nando.
Is that me? I might be.
Yeah, I think because I've switched editors a few times for everything else, but been consistent since day one here doing fantasy content, right?
That's right. Me and Funston. I would say our hockey knowledge has gone up infinitely since we started editing your columns.
Yeah, when you guys got them at 3 a.m.
Whatever, you know.
Too early
Funston,
tonight.
it's only midnight to Funston, so yeah,
There
no
you go.
problem.
So, like, how'd you get into to hockey? What's the passion about it? Why writing about it? Like, take us through your hockey journey, your ice hockey journey. Is it okay to call it ice hockey?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just started watching. I grew up watching it and I always liked it. And I didn't think it would be a career for me. I just thought it was something fun on the side. And then I changed my mind and decided why not write about it. And basically everything I didn't want to do, I started doing. And now I'm here. I didn't want to write about in-game things. I never wanted to write about the Rangers because I thought it would like ruin my fandom, and it changed it completely. But for me, it's fun. And fantasy hockey, I did not want to write about because I was so nervous telling people how to spend their money or what to do. And I was convinced by a very good editor to give it a shot because we wanted to bring a nerdy approach to it.
Okay.
It worked.
It did, right?
It worked out well. And now we're like, hey, come on and talk some awards and futures too.
For real.
That's why we love her, because she's just down for whatever. So
yeah,
why not? Shayna, actually, let's talk about Too Many Men real quick. It's you, it's Allison, who's awesome, and it's Sarah, right? Sarah Sivian, who she's a Bleacher Report now?
Yes.
Good for her, man. That's great.
Yeah, it's just the three of us talking about whatever we want and trying not to get ourselves into trouble.
And there's gear, right? Or like stickers. Didn't I buy a sticker once?
Yes, there's gear, there's sweatshirts, there's shirts, there's everything. Every time we stop making merch, Allison comes up with something else and we make that too.
All right, nice. Cool. That's what's up. So y'all doing a good job. It's very popular, huh?
I guess so. People like us. So that's nice.
It's look, if you're at a point where you're selling things and people are buying them, that has to be something, right?
Yeah, right. And they're listening to the episode fully through. They don't hear 2 minutes of us and they're like, oh God, these idiots. We have to turn this off.
All right, Shayna, let's get into this. I know, and I want to start with someone who I know is near and dear to your heart. I was looking through the futures and I didn't see him anywhere. Roop Hintz. I mean, I assume like I'm reading him in the context of fantasy. So maybe like a sleeper, maybe a guy who's skating under the radar. But he's not really like a trophy winner kind of guy, right? He's just a dude you want on your team who will contribute at a low price.
He should be a trophy winner. He should be in the Selke conversation. And last year he was outside the top 3 because it was Patrice Bergeron's trophy from literally day 1 of the season. And every single day he proved why nobody else could come close to it. But I think Hintz can get there, especially if he takes on top competition. But just in general, he's a really good player. That Stars top line is so good with Rupe Hintz, Jason Robertson, and Joe Pavelski. They last year were the only ones who created literally any offense. And now he's just an underrated player who, you look at that line and try to figure out who's the generator, who's the one that makes it run. And it's really just all 3 contributing. So I think Robertson's been getting his due because he has the goal scoring and that's flashy. And everybody knows Joe Pavelski and how good he is. But Hintz is the one that goes under the radar when he's such a key part of it all.
Let's just obviously Corey and I know what trophy you just referenced there, but for the viewers who don't, who just in the background it just says Rupe. I'm sorry, I've only read his name. I haven't heard it. What was the name of the trophy?
It's the Selke Trophy, which is for the best defensive forward in the league, but it's an interesting one because how it's voted on really depends on who you're asking. Some feel that you need to have that offensive component, so it's the best 2-way forward in the league, and they want to see flashy point scoring when in general it should be the forward that goes against top competition and suppresses, offense the best. So you kind of have to find that midpoint to understand who's going to win. They need to have some scoring. They need to be on the power play. But it's really who goes against top competition, who plays on the penalty kill, who does their coach trust in every single situation. And it's something I write a big story on every year. So when we're a little closer to that, I'll have something diving into that.
So it's called a selfie trophy.
Selke with a K.
Oh, excuse me. What about the top goal scorer? I'm looking at some odds right now on DraftKings. They got Matthews, McDavid as 2 of the favorites. Who, if I wanted to lay something down for the top regular season goal scorer, just give me a couple names. Maybe I'll take a long shot. Maybe it's best to stick to one of the favorites. What's your cap on it?
I would say it's going to be Matthews. I think last year he had
Austin Matthews.
Most sustainable offensive shot generation in the league. He generates a ton of shots. He generates a ton of quality chances, and he creates a variety of shots. It's not going to be 10 wrist shots every single time he's on the power play. He can beat goalies in all different ways, and he plays with one of the best passers in the league in Mitch Marner. So that really sets him up for success. Yes, he's on the Maple Leafs. Yes, everything's dramatic in Toronto. Yes, they've gotten off to a rougher start than you'd expect, but the numbers are there for him. Yeah.
They're right. They're the Lakers of the NHL.
More
Shannon,
dramatic.
When I read like Dom's comments, like half of the comments are like, you're a Toronto homer.
Yes.
Or yeah, here we go again. Dom loves the Maple Leafs. And I guess they're much nicer to you, but like, I mean, the Maple Leafs, they got the third best odds to win the trophy, right? Like, I mean, are they just like constantly like that annoying third best team that everyone tries to get them to jump? Like, I guess this year, the Avalanche and the Flames, or are they legitimately trophy contenders?
They're legitimately trophy contenders who can't get past the first round. They've legitimately been trophy contenders over the last few years, and there's so many narratives around them, like their goaltending's bad because people don't like their defense when their defense is good. And the best offense in today's game is the best defense is a good offense, and they have that. Their goaltending was a little bit suspect. It still is, but you can get away with average goaltending. But for any stat, any information, any research you can do that tells you the Toronto Maple Leafs should be contenders, you need to keep the vibes in check. And the vibes are not good once they hit the playoffs. It doesn't matter who they're facing off against. It could be the worst team in the league. They might find a way to lose and crash and burn. So it's like, it's not fully their fault, but it actually is. So if they get past the first round, that's huge for them. But that's the mountain to climb that they just can't get past.
Like the Cowboys.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's very dear to Corey's heart.
Yes.
Did they do anything? Like, did they fire the coach? Like, have they tried to like reverse the juju, I guess, on the bad luck?
They did fire their coach years ago and brought in a new coach. That helped the team be, I would say, better in all situations. They have added forwards at the deadline. When everybody thought they were too soft, they went for tougher to play against players and added a little more grit. Still didn't help them. They have changed their goaltending tandem this year, so maybe that will help them because their goaltending was legitimately suspect last year. Like, it was amazing until it wasn't, and then it just crashed and burned.
Wow. I personally think Shanahan, Dubas, and Keefe all need to be fired.
I think that's an overreaction, honestly.
I'm stealing that from one of our commenters. I'm sorry.
I'm going to say, Nando's good at this.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Shayna. But that is a legitimate comment.
No, I mean, I think the coaching you can make the argument for, because I think at the end of the day, if you can get the tactics right, and I think that they do, and you have the players there, there's a mental aspect of it. And when they went up against Tampa Bay last year, a team that I'm not a narrative person, but here we go, like will over skill and what it takes to win. And what it takes. Tampa Bay knew what it took. And when push came to shove in game 6, when Toronto could have won the series, they fell apart, and Tampa really upped their game. They were stronger defensively. They were more desperate. And once they lost game 6, you knew Tampa was winning that series in 7. There was no way Toronto was coming back. So maybe there is a little bit more of a mental aspect that they have to address, and maybe coaching is something, but I think that they need more time before they jump to that.
So is Tampa going to win the chip again this year?
No.
So you say that pretty.
Next question.
Yeah, all right. You was right. They're not going to win the championship this year. So who's going to be the Eastern Conference champion?
I think the Hurricanes are a favorite, but I like the Bruins. It's a hot take. Everyone thought the Bruins would be bad this year because they came into the season with a bunch of key injuries, but they have been thriving despite those injuries. And once they're healthy, which we all expect them to be, I think that they're a team to beat. I'm looking at Pittsburgh and Boston, and generally I don't go for the older teams that I think will fizzle out by the spring, but I just don't think that's the case for either one. And I think Boston has what it takes, and they are going to put together a really strong season.
Boston 6-1 right now. Pittsburgh Penguins 8-1 on DraftKings. So you do got a little value with those teams. The Maple Leafs, who we talked about, was the favorites, followed by the Panthers, the Hurricanes, and then the Bruins, the Lightning, the Rangers, and then the Penguins. So you do get some value with Boston and Pittsburgh. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we like that. They're underdog. It's boring to say, we could say the Carolina Hurricanes, who have good odds, but like they're missing a little bit of like oomph in their lineup. It's the one thing they haven't had. So, if we're going to quantify that, like they need something. Maybe they'll have it when everyone's healthy at the end of the year, and maybe they'll have a good shot to go on a deeper run than they have. But I just think Boston has it. That core might be old, but they don't really care about aging curves. They just keep thriving.
You be going to games and you watch hockey at night? Like, do you like how I be on NBA League Pass? Do they have an NHL League Pass? And then do you be watching it like every night and you be going to games? Because I want curious to know who has the best in arena experience. And have you been to the new Islanders stadium?
So NHL now, they were NHL TV. Now it's on ESPN Plus, so you can watch a bunch of games that way.
Nice.
But which is what I generally do. For the in-game experience, the arena I haven't been to that I think probably takes the cake and I really need to get there is Vegas. It seems like Vegas and Nashville seem to be very up there. Unless you're very stuffy and think that hockey can't be fun and it needs to be very boring.
Yeah, that's
then those are the ones. I haven't been to UBS yet, but I will be soon.
Okay, cool. Hey, that's UBS. They just built that. It's real nice. You know, I don't know what it look like on the inside. The old joint was a dump. The Nassau Coliseum.
I loved it.
You know, I seen Snoop Dogg at Nassau Coliseum before. The Up in Smoke tour. I haven't been to Nassau Coliseum since then. But it was a dump, but it was a lovable dump. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It had charm. It had a million flaws, but a ton of charm.
I like those old rickety stadiums like that.
Yeah, why not? It's fun. It's like, everyone talks about the barn. They want it to be like a hockey barn. There you go.
Yeah, for real.
Is that what they called Nassau Coliseum?
Yeah, a lot of people called it the barn. Islander fans.
Fair. All right, you're Long Islander, right?
Yes.
But you're not. But you're a Rangers fan, right?
I just root for players I like now. I don't really root for teams anymore. The less I write about the Rangers, the more I can enjoy them. But when I was writing about them all the time, I didn't root for them. I wanted to be right. I didn't care how they actually did. As long as what I wrote came out right, I was happy. But no, I was not an Islander fan. I watched every Islander game growing up. So when people would argue with me, I could just hit them why their team was terrible and be informed in what I was saying because I am obnoxious like that.
Very nice. 45-1
to win the East. I was like middle school Shayna, just watching the just to spite classmates.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You in Nassau or Suffolk County out there?
I'm in Nassau.
Oh, all right, cool, very nice. I spent some time out there, but I didn't get to the arena myself either. What about the Western Conference? Who's going to win the West this year? Is it going to be Vegas?
Vegas would be fun. That would be pretty spicy, but I think that they're going to do something dumb and mail players out for nothing because they can't handle their cap situation.
Wow.
It's Calgary and Colorado. Those are the two favorites for good reason.
Yeah.
Calgary lost 2 key players, but they found a way to address their lineup differently. Instead of having just one amazing line, now they have 2 stack lines and a better defenseman to add to the mix. And their structure is so strong that anyone can succeed in that. And Colorado is just next level. It's unfortunate it took them winning the cup for people to realize that's the model to be if you want to be successful in this league. You're so skilled up and down their lineup. So I still think they're the favorites. And I think by the spring, they'll be a little healthier with Gabriel Landeskog back in the fold. So if they're dominating players without him, just wait till they have him back.
They're the reigning champions, the Avalanche.
Yes.
Okay.
Shayna, and they crushed it the whole way through.
All this is you could be a very good betting writer, I think.
You keep telling me. I'm trying. I have been working on this. Maybe we can do a monthly column, betting trends and hidden gems. It needs a key title, or I'm not doing it.
I like that. It's a nice title.
If you take the transcript of this interview, this, I mean, to you it probably didn't seem like a betting hit, but to anyone listening, I think they'd be like, wow, this is really interesting and great advice, and she's really smart, and I got to go run and do this stuff.
If you can make me an outline of things I should talk about in a betting column, we can make that work.
All right.
Congratulations.
Betting writer of the year 2022.
Is there a trophy for that? If there is, I'm in.
There might be.
Who gonna win the President's Trophy? And what is the President's Trophy?
President's Trophy is a regular season trophy that you end the year with the most points. And I feel like Calgary is going to get it. I think that they're the team that's going to collect points at the highest rate and really knock it out for everyone else. Because, Colorado's missing players right now. Toronto is Torontoing to start the year. Tampa, the vibes aren't right yet. They got to work on their defensive game. And the Panthers have literally no defensemen. So I think they're kind of out of the running. And it's going to be someone like Calgary taking it this year.
475 on DraftKings.
Yeah, I was taking a look at that. So I'm just hitting all the buttons now. I'm jumping what trophy was that again?
That's the President's Trophy. You get Joe Biden give you that one. at the end of the season.
Yeah, the most useless trophy of all, the President's Trophy. And then there's the superstitions. Do you touch the trophy or not? If you touch the trophy, you lose the regular.
Wait a minute, so they give you the trophy before the playoffs start?
Yeah, you get a trophy for it, and then if you win the Division II, there's a trophy in the playoffs, and like there's a lot of superstitions on whether you should or shouldn't touch it. Like,
yeah,
because you're still playing. Like, if you touch it, do you just ruin your chances? But I don't think there's really a consistent pattern. I used to believe there was.
It's interesting, right? So it's kind of like March Madness. If you win your region, do you cut down the nets, or do you say, "Nah, leave the nets. We'll cut down the nets at the Final Four"? Same type of thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
right. Yeah.
Awesome. Shayna, I know we said 15 minutes. We went a little over.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Our bad.
It's fine. It's just, my column's coming 15 minutes later tonight.
Go.
That's a good one, Shayna.
That's fine. I'll be asleep either way.
I'm trying to think. Can who we got any long shots? The Central Division. Can the Blues win the Central Division at 7-1? No,
I don't think their defense is good enough. I don't like their goaltending. I do think the Stars are a wild card for that, though. I do like Dallas the way they're playing. Are they good enough? It's like a tough call, but I don't know. I wouldn't totally write them out.
Dallas Stars. Let's do it, Corey. Let's adopt them as our team. Rupe Hintz, I believe, is a Dallas Star.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, it's all tied together. There you go.
I don't know him.
You got Miro Heiskanen, who you should put bets down for him to win the Norris. I think that he's someone that's going to be in contention for it. It's probably Cale Makar's to lose this year, or like everyone's going to give it to Roman Josi because he didn't get it last year. That's another award that isn't awarded properly most of the time, but we try to fix that with a big column on it closer to. But we like Miro Heiskanen for it.
Miro Heiskanen is 22-1 to win the James Norris Trophy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
How did the Hurricanes?
I'm in.
And the Blue Jackets get in the Metropolitan Division?
They shifted. The Canes used to be in the Southern. It was like the Southern Division, essentially. They moved them up to the Metro, and the Blue Jackets, they shifted from West to East along with the Red Wings, and the Red Wings went to the Atlantic, and the Blue Jackets went to the Metro. It's a little odd.
All right. They're about to say. This is all right. You know what I'm saying? Because, well, we can use, like, the roto, like I do. I'm fantasy executive. You may have heard of me. Right? So, like, every year around the NBA All-Star break, I don't have nothing to bet on, right? There's no NBA, college basketball, whatever. I turn into the executive on ice, and I start handicapping the NHL, and everybody gets a kick out of it. You know what I mean? But you can be the executive on ice until I take over. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
For those 4 days in February.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, come back for that. We'll let you grade the executive on ice's DFS team one night, or his Jock Market picks one night.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. All right, Shayna, thank you so much for coming. Fantasy Hockey Writer of the Year, Shayna Goldman. I never remember how to do this, how many Y's there are in there.
It's 3 Y's and 3 Y's.
Okay. If you want to follow her on Twitter, it's Hey Shay, or I guess just Google Shayna Goldman Twitter.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, that works. Thank you so much. And check out Too Many Men, the podcast and the YouTube show, and buy some stuff. Support them. They're all cool.
That's what's up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've only met Sarah. I met Sarah on like Twitter DM. I'm like, hey, sorry you're leaving. I know we're linked through Shayna. We're both 1 degree from Shayna. So good luck. But she's cool too. Everyone's cool. Check it out. Too Many Men, Shayna Goldman. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Shayna.
2022 Betting Writer of the Year, Shayna Goldman.
Up and coming. That was good. She gave us some good information on the National Hockey League.
Yeah. I love it.
And then she told us the in-game experience in Vegas. I've always heard that the Vegas Knights had a very good in-game experience. And I can imagine that being a Las Vegas team, they would have a very entertaining in-game experience.
I think that's what Adam's saying in the background. Actually, I don't know who producer 1 or producer 2 is. Jared's out today gambling. So playing poker. That's not really gambling, is it?
Oh,
all right,
yeah.
Tony's producer 2, Adam's producer.
Yeah, it's really gambling.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like he's, like smoking a cigarette at the slots machines.
I used to throw card parties at the crib when I was in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? I used to throw pre-pandemic. I would throw card parties like once a month, and the poker players, They'd be in your house till 8 o'clock the next morning, bro. They don't play around. You know what I
Would
mean?
you walk around the table like Tony Soprano, like not play, like you just say, hey, guy
Yeah,
walks into the bar.
I wouldn't play. I would just be like, I would just be sitting. I'd be like, and mind you, it's a studio apartment. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I would hang out for a little bit. You know what I mean? Beer was there, enhancements, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now it's a private building, so you got to make sure the noise stays down and stuff. Whatever. If somebody wanted me to go get change or make a run to Kennedy Fried Chicken or something like that,
yeah.
I would do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So that it was cool. You know what I mean? Come over to the crib, play poker. But when it got to be 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be like, y'all got to go now. You got to wrap this up.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
this guy has 3 kings. Let's just go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a bit much.
But I haven't done that. And I got enough room to do a big one down here, but I don't really know these people like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Like you don't know what's walking into your house.
And then the Second Amendment, so somebody gonna have a pistol on them here. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful.
How did we get there?
I don't know.
Oh man,
boy,
this is great. We'll have to have Shayna back. That was good, man. That was informative.
I like her. Yeah,
and I feel like Jay Lynn, who's our resident Canadian in the chat, seems like he was engaged. So
yeah, so that's good. He seemed like exactly. So I think we should we don't need the executive on ice. She can handle that for us.
No, I think we should also have that. I think that's that's
the executive on ice.
Hey, by the way, we're working on something big for Halloween. For who's going to be around. We want to try and do some virtual trick or treating here, which I think could be fun.
Yep, we're working on that plan right now.
Yeah, I got to get some design. I got some decorations. I got to get some more. Yeah, I got to put up a spider web.
You want to see the cards I got today when we come back from the break?
Yes, I would love that. Very much.
Nothing great though. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm kind of frustrated that I didn't get anything great. Like a couple of like I said, I'm trying to get Zion, Joe Burrow. I'm narrowing it down to the people to the hit makers. You know what I'm saying,
right.
Nando?
Of course. Yeah.
I didn't get no hit makers today, but I think I got some all right stuff.
But it sounds like you're buying high, but not at
I'm
the
going
highest.
up.
But you know what I mean? Like it's like I'm still playing with penny stock, basically, outside of like these 1960 All-Stars,
because
$70 on a Willie Mays.
This stuff don't sell. This stuff don't move. Like even LaMelo Ball, it's not moving. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm like, you got to, it's LeBron James, it's Steph Curry, it's the big quarterbacks, it's it's Zion. Anybody you think, oh, Tyrese Halliburton is coming up, the market is like, it ain't 2020, bro.
Yep. I got that. Well, I mean, I don't, I'm not a seller. I just keep, I don't know why. I feel like I'm collecting art in a way.
I may sell like twice a year.
I'm buying Vlad Guerrero rookie cards, which holding a candy cane. That's been,
Yeah, that's not going to move.
No, but I love it. When I look at it, I'm like, man.
But it's cool. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Someone came up with this idea to Photoshop Christmas elements into baseball cards and create their own set that they only sell at Walmart. I'm in. Yeah, you said all the magic words. I'm 100% in. Like if you made them all appear to be underwater and as fish,
even better.
I would buy that. Yeah, no one's ever gonna buy. I will be the only person. I will be in line. I'll sleep outside and be like, I got to get that Topps fish set.
You ever stand outside a store for an opening or something? You know what I mean? Now, do you ever like wait in line to get concert tickets or wait in line to get the new Madden or anything like that? You ever did anything like that, Nando?
I did in college. I stayed. I wanted to see the Rolling Stones.
Nice.
So I stood outside. Like it was Boston. I think it was like Tower Records actually. Like you didn't go to the venue. You went to the Tower Records, and that's where the window was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not for. Actually, I did once. There was an album we wanted to get one night, and I can't remember who it was. It was a big deal. It was like this would have been like 98, 99, like Wu-Tang, and I think it was Tower Records at midnight would release. Midnight on Tuesday. Would release midnight on Monday because Tuesday was when they officially came out. And idiots, me and my buddy Bruno, went and stood in line. Like, why is a lot? Like, we do this every month. We'd go Monday night, and like there's a massive line, and we're like, this many people can't be here for like the new Wu-Tang album.
Yeah.
And it turns out they were releasing the Elton John, Lady Diana tribute single.
Yeah. So it was the Elton John crowd and the Wu-Tang crowd all in line at midnight.
Yeah. We're like, why is this? So I bought a couple anyway, thinking like, people want this. There's something I don't know what I'm ever going to do with this.
Yeah.
Didn't really do anything with it. But
I did it for Madden one time when they had the coach mode.
Yeah.
It probably was more of me wanting to do it more so than me needing to go home and play Madden immediately at midnight.
Right.
So that was out in what was the name of that Largo Town Center out there in Largo, Maryland, which it was like up for 10 years now. None of the stores out there are open anymore. Crazy. So I did that one time, right? And that was cool. Other than that, I can't think anything. I've never done anything like that again. Like, stand online to be first to do something. Now, I used to work with a dude at SI. This is interesting right here. He would wait outside the Apple store for the release of the new iPhone every year.
Oh, wow. All right.
But his goal was to be interviewed by the local television reporters that was there. And
he would actually buy it?
And every year they would interview him. I can't think of son's name right now. Real cool guy. One of the most interesting behind the scenes people I've ever worked with. He was a producer at Sports Illustrated. I can't think his name right now. And every year the iPhone would drop and he would go wait online and he would get interviewed by the local news people. So that's pretty cool. But
and then he would leave. Would he actually buy the phone, or would he just be like, "I'm just here"?
Oh no, he would buy the phone too. Yeah,
he
would buy the phone. He would come out and show the phone, and I'd be like, "Son, the phone is like the same. They might change the camera a little bit. You know what I mean?" But he had it, and he would go out there, and he would go, "This is Suzanne Ramos from WPIX." You know what I'm saying? Out here in front of the Apple Store on 59th Street in the Columbus Circle with his name was Ben. With Ben, I can't think of Ben's name. With Ben such and such. And bam, and Ben would sit there and tell the story about, but he was doing it every year. Amazing, right?
And no one caught on. I mean, he's got to find there's a site you can do. It's called TV Eyes, where you can go through an archive of everything that's ever been on TV.
Yeah,
he should search his name and try and get a jump every year if they got it. If the transcript spelled it right, just find every single year.
His name.
Yeah,
but
just get jump cuts.
I've never. No, that's really it, Nando. Like no Jordan release.
No. Oh, I did Harry Potter. You know what? I did Harry Potter one year.
Okay.
The last Harry Potter book, I did the Barnes & Noble in Union Square.
Okay.
With
that's that's legendary Barnes & Noble right there.
That right. And there was a line outside. You got in. You had to go through a line on the inside. You get the book and go home and read it, I guess, at 1 a.m. We didn't. We went to bars. I mean, just kind of wanted to see what this is all about.
Yeah. I think waiting online for something is more about the actual event than the actual waiting online than it is the actual event. Like my sister is a Tar Heel. She would wait online for Duke Carolina tickets at night. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know, but just it's more of the experience more so than getting in the event. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, I got to think of that. I'm sure I did more. I just can't think of it right now. But I'm sure there was more. I don't mind that. I don't mind standing in line if I don't get cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. As long as the temperature is fine, it doesn't bother me. I'm cool with that.
Tell you what, when I got to go pick up my daughter from school, there's a bodega up in West New York where I go. And it's right around the corner from the school. And she sometimes she's like, "Daddy, bring me a lollipop when you come pick me up." I'm like, "All right, cool, I can do that."
Yeah.
So I went a couple weeks ago, picked them up, went to the corner. And this guy is, he's giving someone lottery tickets. This woman walks in and gets a little too close to me and then goes over to the side. And I know this dude behind the counter saw me, but he went to the woman first and gave her the lottery ticket. So I just left and I have never gone back. I go out of my way now to get lollipops because the dude let her cut me.
Yeah, I don't like stuff like that.
Don't cut me in line. Yeah, don't.
Come on now. I'm standing right here.
Yeah, you've lost at least $20 in lollipop sales for the rest of the year. Branched out into
exactly.
Yeah,
you could have been number one lollipop seller in Western New York.
Yeah, I could have maybe upgraded to Twixes or something, but it's anyway. Tell you what, let's take a break. We'll come back. I want to bring up a little bit of Jake Paul. We don't have to get too deep because you and I we aren't swimming in boxing, but I think it's a discussion worth having, especially Le'Veon Bell, which is ridiculous too. Actually fighting a real person, not Adrian Peterson. Stand by. We'll be right back with more after this.
Jock Market, stay in the game. Hang out in the Bettor Zone. Will you track NFL live action on Bettor Sports Network?
Joe Burrow is going off.
Burrow catches the shotgun snap. He's back to throw. He's going to throw it high and deep for Chase. Jamal has the ball. It is a touchdown.
27 to 33, 425, 3 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown.
Boyd has 7 for 146 and a touch. Chase has 6 for 116 and 2. Higgins has 4 for 80. Even Hayden Hurst 5 for 41. And even Mixon, they're not running the ball. And I applaud the Bengals. I've been complaining about them. That Thursday night game against Miami, they kept running Mixon. They weren't picking up yards. This is how the Bengals should play. Yes. You have Chase, Boyd, Higgins, throw the football.
Cannot defend them. You're exactly right. Listen, nobody on earth is going to tell me there's a defense in the NFL that can defend those 3 receivers. Then you play like this, and then it opens up Joe Mixon, and it opens up things in the running game. I'm 100% with you about how they should be playing.
Inside handoff to Travis Etienne into the end zone. Touchdown! Travis Etienne, a 7-yard touchdown run.
You know when Etienne's got the ball, there's a different gear right there right now. And I just think I got to start feeding him the ball more.
And they kind of know it. Like you said, it's kind of trending there right now. They need to get him the football. I mean, he's the most explosive player on that offense. They don't have a lot of speed at wide receiver.
Yeah.
So they need to get him the ball if they want to have success. And I think they know it, and you're starting to see it more.
Lamar Jackson, for Lamar not to account for a touchdown, that's pretty tough considering what you expect from Lamar on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and it's like 4 straight weeks now that he has 1 passing touchdown or less, and he's reached 200 passing yards 1 time in those 4.
They're just ruining prime years of Lamar Jackson's career with this guy, Greg Roman. They are.
Yeah, man, and and he's playing for the contract too.
Yep.
But yeah, it sucks because I think if we had this discussion a couple weeks ago, we'd be like, oh yeah, Lamar easy in that top discussion, and now it's like you're gonna play him if you have him. I have him in multiple leagues. You're not benching him, but this is not what you paid for.
Hang out in the Bettor Zone for a better NFL game day experience. Sundays at 1 Eastern on Bettor Sports Network. Corey Nando and Friends is sponsored by Jock Market. Make real money every hour, every minute, every second of every game.
Ladies and gentlemen, Glendale, make some noise for the problem child, Jake Paul!
I'm a champion at heart, and that's my greatest attribute is my heart and the power of my mind. And on Saturday, I'm going to leave it all out there in the ring, and we're going to get the job done.
Bettor Sports Network is betting, fantasy, collectibles. It's sports talk done better.
Welcome back, everybody. Corey Nando and Friends here on Bettor Sports Network. By the way, if you're enjoying your experience here, you'll probably enjoy tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. because we're giving away more stuff. Tomorrow's prize, Lendale white jersey. I believe it's going between, Oh, you know why? It's not in the run. I got it in my email. Let me just pull this up real quick because I want to read it to make sure I get this right. But there's a Lendale white jersey. I believe 11 tomorrow morning. Hold on one second. Oh, I got a lot of emails from the start. People are hammering this Jake Paul column on The Athletic right now. Moose and Keith tomorrow morning at 11 Eastern for your chance to win an autographed Lendale white Tennessee Titans jersey. Download the app, register, listen tomorrow at 11 a.m. That's it, man. You just hit a button when they tell you to hit a button. The catch is you can't have won in the last 90 days, which is basically the entire existence. So please don't click the fun button. You got the stage cards, man. You're good. Special thanks to gettingthegame.com for helping sponsor this. But no purchase is necessary. Just get the app, click the button, enjoy life. Man, let me see. What did I do wrong here? Jake Paul, man, the commenters are not liking this. I don't get it, Corey. Like, Jake Paul sells more tickets than anybody. I can guarantee you this will be one of the biggest articles on the site tomorrow. Probably one of the top 10 because people just everything we've done with Jake Paul so far, people just read. And I think maybe they come to The Athletic and they expect like a little higher. Like, we went a little in depth. We did some more stuff than usual. It's not just like, here's how you can watch Jake Paul and here's his record. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, he's controversial. I don't want to say controversial he's one of those dudes people like to talk about. Everybody has an opinion on him. And I think you will get a lot of people, maybe our age, in their 30s probably, I look at him as entitled.
Yep.
So I think that's where the negative stuff would come from. But judging him on what I know of him, from the little bit that I do know, I don't get entitled. I get passionate. I get somebody trying to go for this and live out their dreams. You know what I'm saying? And putting the work in to do these things. He's got the bankroll to back it up. And you know what? I don't knock his hustle. I don't have nothing negative to say about Jake Paul.
I think people also, and fair or not, get him confused with his brother Logan, who
I don't.
did
I get them mixed up.
Yeah.
Is one more popular than the other?
I think Jake is more popular than Logan, right? I don't know. I feel like Logan was the more popular of the two. He was on, I think he was on a Nickelodeon show back in the day. And, playing like a doofus. I think that's how they got their start. I think Logan's also the one who's minted a ton of NFTs and made like a crap load of money off of that. These guys are well into the millions,
Oh, their money is long.
Yeah. And again, like you said, like you got that kind of money, like you can hire any trainer. Like Le'Veon Bell's trainer is a dude who trained Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Like
they have resources.
Yeah, exactly.
They have unlimited resources.
And look, pick out a 25-year-old boxer and what he's doing. He's picking guys he can beat, and he's kind of rising up through the ranks. He's just not selling out, the Glendale, Arizona arenas.
He's not putting the event on. Paul is putting the event on.
Exactly.
So, and it's entertaining. So then you'll have the purists, right? Because boxing, like baseball, has purists. Combat sports, period, now have purists. He's taken on the UFC about the pay of their how they pay their fighters.
Yep.
Right. Boxing is done.
He's featuring a lot of women.
Yeah.
He's featuring a lot of women.
So he's doing. Like I said, I don't have no problem with him. Now I'm not paying $90 to watch it, but for $60, I'll jump in. Whatever. It's entertainment. I can't knock it. It's entertainment. And everybody's always waiting for these cats to get knocked out and get punished, but they be doing the punishing, which makes it even more entertaining if you ask me, because now they're beating the status quo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes. So, dude, here's the thing. And complain all you want, but look at the heavyweight division right now, right? And we talked about this a couple weeks ago when Deontay Wilder fought. Wilder's like a beast and he's amazing, but he's fighting dudes you haven't, he's not fighting Anthony Joshua, No. And how many times can Wilder fight Joshua? And how many times can Tyson Fury fight Joshua? How many people can fight Usyk? You know what I mean? There's not, even the Klitschko's were kind of boring. Lennox Lewis was boring. He kept dudes at bay with, they were dominant, but they were boring, man. It wasn't like Tyson and Holyfield who would get in there and just hit. It tends to be a little boring, man. Fury's got a lot of power. And Deontay Wilder, I wish they could fight, every 6 months. You know what I mean? And do a 12-a-G, because everything else is boring. And then you got Jake Paul coming in, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm 6'1", 190. I'm a YouTube star. I know how to put on a show. I'm going to put some reality stars on the menu. I'm going to put Le'Veon Bell on the menu. I'm going to have a couple women fight on some of my fights. Amanda Serrano, one of the best women's fighters in the world. This isn't a celebrity boxing thing. This is Amanda Serrano, who nobody would know. And now 20 million people at least see her name. Whether they choose to watch the undercard or not, they at least see her name there. And so, he's got an undercard.
Who's the broadcasters?
I don't know. They're doing it on Showtime. So maybe Jim Lampley. Is Jim Lampley Showtime?
See, I don't know
where everybody went after HBO.
See, I don't see Jim Lampley. See, I would think they would get their own broadcasters. See, I would think that they would have their own broadcasters, probably guys more in that lane. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to pulling up a Jim Lampley or a Dr. Freddie Pacheco or something like that.
You pulled that one out of the bag of hats, man.
How about that one? Then you dug deep with that one right there.
Yeah, right.
So I think the broadcasters are interesting. I think you got to get people. But has any one of them fought at Madison Square Garden yet?
I actually think one of them did. No, you know what? He was supposed to. He was supposed to fight Tommy Fury, Tyson Fury's stepbrother.
Okay.
And then Fury's pulled out twice on him. Once because of a broken rib, and that was when he had the rematch with some other MMA guy. I can't forget his name. Anyway, he had the rematch with him, which he knocked him out after 6 rounds. And then he was supposed to fight him again in July. He couldn't get into the country because of like some alleged ties to like a gangster. And they replaced him with Hasim Rahman Jr., who then eventually pulled out because he couldn't make weight. So like I don't know. You know, like he's tried to do an MSG show. It was August.
Yeah. So I think what they need next, they need MSG, and then he needs Conor McGregor. Because you see, with Conor, now you're really talking entertainment. Now you're really talking a massive event. Conor, despite being washed up, in my novice opinion of the sport, is the biggest draw in the sport.
You think so?
Because of what Conor can do on the microphone. He can sell it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, that with that, you know, Conor, one thing about Conor, it's like Floyd said. Floyd was like, I got to sell these fights. I fought Conor. I didn't have to sell that fight. Conor sold it.
Yeah.
And Conor McGregor is very good at that. So we want to talk entertainment. Jake Paul and these cats washed up. They need to get Conor out there. And, you know what I'm saying? Then you really get Conor, put it at Madison Square Garden. And now, you know, and then let Chuck and let Charles Ernie and Shaq do the broadcast. And now you got a made-for-television event that everybody in the country will pay $100 to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. But I don't know if that's going to happen.
I should be a promoter. I just put together the best card of all time.
Now, just give me one random one of them. Who's Le'Veon Bell fighting?
Jim Brown. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Done. Corey, Paul's minus 160. Silva's plus 138. Paul was actually minus 150 yesterday. So he's moved.
He's probably going to be minus 200 by the time the fight start.
There's I guess like if you can gamble in so many states now, you know, like 25 states is legal. I would assume they will start moving the line more and more and more as, you know, just like casual gamblers just jump up and get Paul, right? I think the money's going to go on Paul.
Now, this stuff right here, you can bet on it. I never bet on this stuff before, though. But I'm willing to.
On boxing?
Like
or on like Jake Paul boxing?
Well, I don't want to call it. Yeah, Jake Paul boxing.
So he's knocked his first 3 guys he knocked out in like the first or second round. So there's plus 650 for the fights under 3 rounds. But those were like, that was like Nate Robinson got knocked out. And then a couple of YouTubers who I'd never heard of got knocked out pretty early. 3 rounds or more is minus 1,400. His last 2 have gone 6 and 8 rounds. I don't know. Adrian Peterson. Le'Veon Bell, the guy he's fighting is minus 480. Uriah Hall's a minus 480 favorite.
Oh,
would you put some? But you know what? This is the kind of fight. I don't need to put anything on this. I just want to watch it and just, you know, see.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Jim Gray. Wow, look at that.
They really do have Jim Gray and Al Bernstein too.
Mauro Ronaldo's on play-by-play. Al Bernstein's the analyst, and Jim Gray's the reporter. Man,
see, they should have went and got some. They should have got a different broadcast crew.
They did that,
but I guess that's who Showtime was going to pay. You know what I'm saying?
His first few fights were on something called like Crackle. Like it was like a streaming name. I can't remember the name of it.
You gotta like download an app. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah. Before they went Showtime, it got all legitimate. They were on some other streaming thing, and I think like it was just like exactly what you said. We're doing like Dude Perfect-y kind of people, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I think
my pop still don't understand the concept behind going to Amazon to watch Thursday Night Football.
We'll get him there. We'll get him there. We got to talk Thursday Night Football. It's Thursday, by the way.
And then how about that? The week's flying by, isn't it?
Yeah. I was saying it today. I'm like, it's Thursday. How did that happen? But go figure. You want to talk a little Thursday Night Football?
First,
we can do whatever we like. We'll take some calls. If anyone's out there, you got some help with your fantasy leagues, like let us know, man. We're here for start sit advice. Anything you want to talk about Kadarius Toney, we'll be glad to help. Wow, nice.
Cam Newton, Patriot.
Well, I didn't even see who was on it. I was just looking at the red, white, and blue. I like a lot.
This is nice right here. Silva, Alonzo Mourning as a Charlotte Hornet.
You ordered these on eBay?
No, this was in the pack. This was in that 2019 stuff I was looking at. Here's one right here. Gronkowski, Patriot. In Tampa.
All right, nice.
And then here goes the Zach Moss red, white, and blue. So
red, white, and blues are nice, man. We had at least 3 red, white, and blues back in our
should
challenge
have
on.
been quarterbacks though. We messed up by not doing quarterbacks.
You were the ringer
you ever get
at
those
the time.
cards? You ever get those cards?
No, you know what? And there's no way to be like, where are my cards? I think they're in the ether somewhere, I guess. But it does say it could take like 3 months for you to get your cards.
We would have to email him. I wonder if he would come on the show.
I bet you would. I mean, not if we're going to confront him about where our star stock $40 worth of cards are, but
I know that's true.
I think if we were just like, hey man, come on, talk about whatever you got going on.
You know, they would like, I don't want to trash them, but they would like, you send your own cards in there, and then they would give it a low grade, and then they would say that their cards were 9s and 10s. Their cards were like 8s.
Really? Oh, the A and the B.
I sent them the PSA. Yeah, and like their A was like a PSA 8. You know what I'm saying? It was never a 10. Never.
Right.
So,
right. Gotcha. Catch all.
They got us.
I got a weird. It's coming back on my other my personal account. I didn't want to mingle ours, like the one that we had together, so we could split it up. And then like I got my own. On my own, I got this Jalen Hurts. Like it looks like it should have been autographed, but it wasn't autographed. Like a diamond something out of 15. I can't really find it anywhere.
Yeah,
you know, like I'm trying to find comps and stuff, and I can't find it. Everything I see, I think it was like a Contenders, but everything I see is like it's autographed. This one's not autographed, so
interesting.
Hey, Ross has a question, Corey. Yep. Pick 2 standard scoring: AJ Brown, Sutton, Hopkins. Sutton's playing in that London game. DeAndre Hopkins had 1 billion targets last week, and AJ Brown has been just a stud.
You got to go DeAndre Hopkins. Oh man, I would go Hopkins and Brown. Where's Philadelphia at this week?
Like who are they playing?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll pull it up. Let's segue into our Thursday night football part of this. Oh wait, verify your mobile number. Uh-oh. 1 second, please. X. Yes, cancel. What am I registering for?
Yeah, they got the Steelers this week at home. I would go AJ Brown.
You know what I do? I keep when people are on, I keep hitting the bets. So now I got Mike Brown, Coach of the Year, parlayed with Miro Heiskanen to win the James Norris Trophy for plus 11,000.
Nice job. Hopefully that works out for you.
I don't know. You think it could?
Put $10 on that. You know what I mean? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not, man? Yeah. All right. I'm storing them, collecting these on this bet slip. All right, let's get to the NFL. Do you have picks? Do you want to just go through the games? Do you have anything you want to jump on
tonight? Well, we can do a run through tonight, tomorrow. Right. Go back. I'm not fully immersed yet. Won't really have a good feel about it until tomorrow. But I like Tampa tonight, and I'm glad I got them early in the week when they were plus 1.5.
Yeah.
Because now Tampa's a 2.5 point favorite, and nobody's betting on them. But respected money is piling in on the Buccaneers. Man, if this goes the way it looks like it's going to go, where Tampa has a bounce back performance tonight, then tomorrow, Nando, the story is what's wrong with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I'm feeling that coming up for Lamar Jackson. Like I think someone in one of the comments, I think in someone's column, the Salfino's column maybe this week was like, hey, should I actually consider benching Lamar Jackson for Daniel Jones? And it's a legitimate question.
It really is this time of year. Jackson has not played well recently. The Baltimore Ravens this season, they win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. Win one. Tonight should be lose one.
All right.
They'll drop to 4-4 on the season. And here's the thing. They do have the 19-17 victory over the Bengals, but the Bengals are getting stronger, right? And Baltimore is getting weaker. The Bengals have won 4 out of 5, right? The only loss being to the Ravens. They got the Browns this week, followed by the Panthers and Steelers before they have a big showdown Thanksgiving weekend versus the Titans. So Baltimore is going to finish. The Bengals are going to win this division. I wonder what the
they're at?
number
What are
is
they at?
right
Yeah, I was going to
now.
say, like, okay, hold on one second. Let's see if we can monetize that sentence you just had.
The Bengals are going to win this division again this year.
Okay, Mike Brown, Coach of the Year. Miko Heiskanen, James Norris Trophy winner, and Bengals to win the division.
That's a heck of a parlay right there. Right now, Cincinnati is plus 160 to win the AFC North. I love it.
I can't believe that the Ravens are still that much of a favorite after.
Because you better bet it tonight because it's not going to be there tomorrow.
Corey, are we as fantasy players singing? Do we see like this? Do we have more insight, like seeing like how Lamar Jackson is struggling in fantasy? Are we like peering into the future a little bit and saying like something's broken here, or are we being we're not see the forest for the trees kind of thing?
Are the smartest NFL fans,
of course,
they really are. And you notice, you look at our rankings, our projections. When the season's over, it always almost falls very similar to how we have it in the preseason.
Yeah.
So fantasy people are the smartest NFL fans. And, this plus 160 with the Bengals right now, this will flip tomorrow. If Baltimore loses tonight, like people expect them to, Baltimore has been terrible against the spread past couple seasons. They haven't even been playing really good on the road or at home. Baltimore is a mediocre team right now. You got to tell the truth about the Baltimore Ravens. They're not a contender in the AFC. They're a team that's a 5, 6, or 7 seed in the AFC playoffs who very well could not be playing in the second round and then have a quarterback issue on their hand. And Baltimore's thing is coaching. They should have kept Wink. They got mad at Wink last year because of the way the defense played, right?
Right.
Now, Wink really could, if an assistant can win Coach of the Year, it would be Wink.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
He's doing a fabulous job with the New York Giants. So now you got Roman, who they kept, who is terrible. Don't get me wrong, Harbaugh is a good head coach. Jackson is great, but let's tell the truth. He's not winning. And as a quarterback, you got to win football games. And tonight, you go on the road down there in Tampa and you lose tonight, then it's clear that the Bengals are the team to beat in the AFC North. And the Ravens are a team that's probably going to struggle to get into the playoffs when a lot of people had them as a Super Bowl contender coming into the year. The Baltimore Ravens are not close to Buffalo or Kansas City. Despite them having the win, despite them having the lead versus Buffalo at their building earlier this year, the Ravens ain't it, man. It ain't it.
What would it take for you to would it have to be like a Tom Brady 5 touchdown, like out of his body experience for you to be like, all right, well, that's almost kind of like unfair because this was like a Tom Brady angry game, or like would there have to be like a bad call or something at the end that would make Tampa Bay win 19-17? The clock expires, they couldn't get the kickoff, the referee messed up. Like, what would it be? And I'm nitpicking here, but because I do agree with you, I 100% am in on the Bengals are going to win this division, and Baltimore is a broken team. But would there be something that you would be like, I could give them a miniature pass here, a miniature pass that they don't have to fire Greg Roman
if they play well in the second half?
What if it's a shootout and they lose a shootout?
I can see that. The number one thing you want to see tonight, let's just say Baltimore does lose. If you want to draw some optimism from anything, it's how they play in the second half. Baltimore is being out-adjusted at halftime. You go in at halftime, you make adjustments, you come back out, and the Ravens don't score in the second half.
Right.
We've had a number of games this season where we've seen the Ravens shut down in the second half. So their last win, the game just this past week, they did score 10 points in the second half versus the Cleveland Browns. But if you look at the Giants game, right? The Giants lost to the Giants. They scored 10 points in the second half. In that game, the Giants scored 17 points. Baltimore got shut out late in the game. You go back to the win versus the Bengals, 19-17 win versus the Bengals in Baltimore. Baltimore scored 9 points in the second half. So once again, a poor second half from the Ravens. The loss against the Buffalo Bills, right? Baltimore scored 0 points in the second half. When Baltimore goes up against top coaches. You know what I'm saying? Teams like the Giants, Frazier, a great coordinator. When they go up against these big-time defensive coordinators, the defensive coordinators embarrass Roman.
Yeah.
Now tonight,
well, Roman's predictable. Roman is just like everywhere he's gone, he's done the same offense: run,
exactly.
run. You know,
exactly. It's the same thing with Colin Kaepernick. You're running that.
That's
that
what he did. He ran that offense.
It's almost a decade ago now. Well, probably longer than that. You know, what's this 2022?
Yes.
I don't know, but it's a long time ago. Put it like that. You know what I'm saying? So, if Baltimore plays well in the second half and loses, maybe you're optimistic. Baltimore needs a win tonight, but guess what? Tampa needs it more.
But I mean, like, can Tampa win? Is like that's a team that's like flat, complete. Like, I guess maybe Mike Evans goes in inner self, goes into a tank full of water and is like, I need to refine myself. I can't make those kind of mistakes. I need to win. Let's go. Right? Like that would fix the team. Chris Godwin's been like at this point, you'd rather have Marquise Goodwin, I think, than Chris Godwin with the mess that he's been. And Leonard Fournette should be a stud. Tom Brady should be a stud. And you just look at this team and you're like, man, that's not a team. That's a very fractured group of players that, maybe it's Bruce Arians isn't there anymore. I don't know what it is. Like Tom Brady's gotten old. And he's got a lot of stuff going on off the field. I don't know what's going on there, man.
It's a lot going on. I live in the quarterback house. I hear all of that stuff.
Right. Oh, yeah, right. The quarterback house.
Marlon Humphrey, questionable. Marcus Peters, questionable. Mark Andrews, questionable. Rashad Bateman, questionable. Yeah. There's no explosive plays in this offense. Lamar Jackson is an explosive player who can make explosive plays. If Baltimore wins this game tonight, it's going to have to be on the legs and arm of Lamar Jackson. He's going to have one of those Lamar go crazy performances.
He's got to have a Daniel Jones style rushing game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what we're going to need you. Can you see the pep talk right now? Hey, Lamar, if you could just be like Daniel Jones a little more, I think
that's what we've come to. That's what we've come to with Lamar Jackson. Can you be like Daniel Jones? Wow.
But I mean, 4 touchdown game is not a stranger to him. 5 touchdown game is not a stranger to him. It seems like he can read a room and he understands what he needs to do at any given time. He's also playing for a contract. I mean, you can't just sit here. I don't think they're sabotaging him, but I mean, you can't just sit here.
They're not sabotaging him, but they're not. They don't have him he's not in the right spots.
Yeah,
and he's the type of player to say I'm not in the right spot out in the public. You know what I'm saying? So that's tough. So that's how I look at tonight.
They're still minus 180 to win the division. You know what I mean? Like this isn't a team that's like they're not the Lakers, right?
No, they're going to be there.
Right.
They're not the Lakers.
Right. So what I'm saying is like I just want to look at the other division odds for like all the other. Why would this be easy to find? I got to go back out to NFL.
Of course not.
Right. I got to go back out to futures. But I do want to see like Baltimore at minus 180 might be one of the, let's see, division winners. Ravens are minus 180. I guess the Bucks are minus 225, but we know that's Carolina's division to win. I should have put Carolina in that parlay. Imagine how much that would have been.
Crazy.
49ers just plus 105. The Bills minus 900. Eagles minus 400. All right, so I was wrong. But still, they're and Tennessee's minus 140. So, they're in the top 2/3. Anyway, the point is minus 180.
Tennessee's minus $1.40 to win that division.
Yep.
So
Tennessee minus 140, Colts plus 225.
You can't even. So now everybody's in on Tennessee now.
Yeah.
Well, at least the odds makers are, and that's the right way, and that's the right spot to be at. Like Tennessee is probably team 3 in the AFC right now. The London game, Wembley, where were they playing at?
Yeah, they're playing Wembley.
Denver and Jacksonville. No, I couldn't tell you nothing about this one, bro.
Well, I mean, Russell Wilson stayed in shape on the plane.
And then everybody made a big deal about that.
We almost did too, but in defending him.
Yeah.
People being just a little too harsh on him now. Russell Wilson seems like the guy who's going to step up and have a huge game in London.
That could very well happen.
Like we're going to be checking in actives at 11:45, and it's going to be Russell Wilson 302 yards, 2 touchdowns, 47 rushing yards, and another touchdown.
Cowboys,
and an interception.
I don't know how to bet this one, Nando. Probably lay away from it. Cowboys laying 9 at home versus the Bears. How about this? Yesterday, thankfully I caught it, right? I got an email prepare to check in at Crown Plaza or Arlington, Texas. And I was like, I forgot I had tickets to the game this weekend and was supposed to be in Dallas. Totally whiffed, right? I won't be there. You know what I'm saying? But I forgot to cancel the hotel room.
Oh, man. Did you get it in time?
I got it in time, yes. Because, that would have been a disaster. You know what I'm saying? And like even me as a single dude by myself when nobody's on top of my checking account, just me knowing that happened would have been like, I wouldn't have been able to sleep at night.
At a certain point, you're just like, it's probably cost-wise better for me to I might as well just fly out there now. So I don't.
That probably would have ended up being what happened, Nando. You know what I'm saying? But
I'll tell you what,
I couldn't because Kennedy got a cheerleader thing this weekend.
Oh, that sucks.
So I would have just been short. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would have sucked.
But thankfully, I got that taking place. I'm not laying 9 with Dallas. I'm about to say I would throw the money line in the parlay, but that's been very dangerous this year when it comes to these big favorites.
Right.
Las Vegas and the Raiders and the Saints. The Raiders are 1-point road favorite. Everything inside of me says the Ravens should take care of the Saints. I'm pretty sure the Saints going to win this game.
Why not, right? Like we'll put in Taysom Hill for 10 snaps quarterback. That's the Saints. I guess that, you look at these teams that lost their head coaches, their iconic head coaches, and you look at the Saints and you look at the Bucks, they're kind of hard to read. You know what I mean? Like this Saints team is uneven, man. I guess it's because, Kamara's been hurt. Jameis Winston's been hurt. Michael Thomas has been hurt. I don't think it's the coach. Injuries.
Yeah, I still think I'm not going to come down on Dennis Allen yet. I do think that it's
No, you reading the Jalen?
Nope. Yeah, exactly.
LeBron tweeted, NFL fans, I got something special coming for y'all. Announcement coming on IG Live at some point today. Like what?
I don't know.
Like he's got an energy drink?
Probably something like that.
These things never deliver.
No, they don't. 100%.
NFTs.
Yes, it's going to be something. All right. So you know how in NFL circles, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has you take a team that's a 6-7 point favorite and tease them down to pick them.
Yep.
That has not worked this year.
Right.
Hasn't worked.
Yep.
You know what the way the teaser that's working this year is? Like this Raiders Saints game, tease either one of these two teams. And that will cash.
You think so?
So for example, yeah, exactly. That's how you're supposed to do it. So you tease the Raiders or the Saints, right? Both sides should hit. You tease like the Lions, right? A home dog at 3.5 up to 10.5. That should hit, right? Patriots and Jets. You can probably tease the Jets up to 9.5. That should hit. So those are the teasers to look at this year. That's been successful this year. 49ers, Rams. 49ers are 1-point road favorite. You could tease either one of those teams.
You touch that? That's a game I don't even know who's going to win that game. You know what I mean?
But the winner is not going to win by more than 9 points. That's what I'm saying.
All right, I see what you're saying.
Like the winner of Jets Patriots is not going to be a 2-touchdown win. That's going to fall within the teaser range on both teams.
Man, these games are tough. This is a weird,
whoa. Now that's a big one right there.
Oh man.
Now slow down on those bets.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're still plus 180.
Slow down on those bets about the Bengals. Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase is dealing with a hip injury that is expected to sideline him 4 to 6 weeks and makes him a prime candidate for injured reserve.
Chase visited with a hip specialist. That's
hips are serious injuries too.
Yeah,
especially for a young player, you don't want to see a hip injury. So I would say T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, you're in good shape.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to get that work. I think Joe Burrow, I just wish that now if you're a Chase guy, you can't replace him. That's not on the waiver wire. That's not on your bench.
In a way, you hope he goes on IR because you
that would almost be the biggest loss of the fantasy season injury wise.
Well, you know what? If you can get past this, if it's expected to sideline him 4 to 6 weeks, and look, in worst case scenario, it could be a labrum and he's done, you know? But if 4 to 6 weeks puts you right in the playoff for Jamar Chase to come back and like give your team another 15 points a week, and when it's that tight in the playoffs, that's a big deal, man.
You got to get it there, though.
That's what I'm saying. If you can weather that storm, you know.
Jalen, where'd you see that at?
I'll take a look. I'll go check Twitter. Well, actually, why don't we take a quick break?
Yeah, let's confirm that.
Because I'm sure there's some other stuff. I'll take NFL injury
Adam
news
Schefter just tweeted it. Okay, Ross is saying, get out of here with that. Breece Hall was by far worse. This is Jamar Chase, somebody who was drafted in the top 10 picks of fantasy drafts, not a running back that was drafted in the 4th round.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter where he was drafted. Breece Hall was having a season.
He was having a season, but this is a more impactful injury. This is Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
That's a big one right there.
Sorry, Ross. We didn't mean to,
I wasn't trying to
come down hard on you. You were right.
But I'm just saying, that's a humongous injury right there.
But there's nothing you could do. You know what? As a fantasy player, Boyd and Higgins are already on teams, man. There's not much you can really do here with this information, except it sucks if you got Chase.
Basically, that's it. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, your options are pretty good. Right now, these are projections. Hold on.
Ian Rappaport's saying no surgery, but I don't know, man. If he's going to, he hasn't seen the specialist yet, I think the specialist could be like, you have a torn labrum in your hip, buddy.
Right now, Jamar Chase is WR2 in fantasy. That's humongous.
Oh yeah, drop Alan Lazard for Tyler Boyd. What do you think, Corey?
Yeah, exactly. Now, you know what I'm saying? If you can do that now, do that ASAP.
Alan Lazard's got his own thing. Doesn't he?
Somebody fall on my trash can?
Sorry, let's take a break.
Yeah, let me go check on my trash can. When we come back, let's get I think this is the big right here. So I think we got to prepare for Reverend Dr. Fantasy Executive to pray over the Jamar Chase teams.
Yeah, I think to pray over everyone else who's not hurt at the moment. Yeah. I know I gotta go reply to some nasty Jake Paul commenters. So yeah, I gotta handle this before the comments section burns down the entire site. Before we go, hey, Jock Market offers live daily markets for sports that let you buy and sell shares of athletes in real time with other users, all for real money. Although, as we learned the other day, you can play free. Like if you want to mess around tonight and see what Jock Market's all about, you can play for free. So that when Sunday comes, you'll actually have the rhythm down a little bit, how the game works. Each share is a guaranteed payout at the end of the night. Download now using promo code FRIENDS to receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. Your first market will also be risk-free with losses refunded up to $100. Download the Jock Market app. Use the code FRIENDS. If you're listening on our app right now, you can just click the button and take you right there. Thanks to Jock Market for believing in us and letting us talk Jake Paul. We'll be right back. Quick break after this.
Corey Nando and Friends is sponsored by Jock Market. Make real money every hour, every minute, every second of every game.
Beisman, co-founder of Jock Market. Dave, what's up, man?
Hey guys, how are you doing? Thanks for having me.
Doing?
Thank you for coming on, sponsoring the show on the network and everything, man. We much appreciate it.
How would a novice make their introduction into Jock Market?
For most people, we recommend we have free beginner contests. So anyway, if you played fewer than 50 events, free to enter. And instead of trading with cash like you do in our cash markets, we give everyone chips, the same number of chips to trade. And, we rank people at the end based on how many chips you finish with. So totally free to enter, only against other novices. And you can sort of build a portfolio in a way that you would with real cash, just in a way that's a little more risk-free. For the people that are more, a little more adventurous and you want to deposit right away, I'd say pick, one or two players you think are going to be undervalued. And it's just that simple, right? They're undervalued today. I think they're going to outperform. Buy a couple shares and watch what happens to the price. Watch where people are offering to pay for them. And then as the game goes on, you say like, hey, Lamar Jackson's having a real bad first half, let's say. He's probably going to be the most expensive player. There might be opportunity to buy low on him or kind of watch as the game goes on and how the prices react. I'd say that's probably the best way to.
So it's like a second screen experience where you kind of have to have it up while you're watching the games on Sunday and stuff like that to really be able to truly take advantage, huh?
Actually, you know what's great is that we have a lot of people that do that, but a lot of people will buy before the games and just
come back and check.
Yeah, because we have the guaranteed payouts at the end. You don't have to trade. There might be an opportunity for you to, reallocate your funds or invest more, buy, sell, short sell, whatever you want to do. But we have plenty of people who just buy and hold, and that's their whole experience, and they do pretty well on that.
We're joined right now by Dave.
This is Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media and sponsored by Jock Market. Make real money every second of every game.
Welcome back, everybody. Just making the mistake of putting commenters into place. Man. Hey, if anyone out there, no. I don't get why people are so salty about Jake Paul, man. It really sets people off.
Yeah, he's a lightning rod for people.
But I mean, like, why? Like, boxing fans are so sensitive and soft, man. Not all boxing fans. The ones who actually comment on a website. Get over yourselves, man. Your sport's dying. Let Jake Paul revive it. And why are you making me defend Jake Paul? Yeah, I grew up 20 minutes from the Boxing Hall of Fame. Like, I have a lot of respect and reverence for the sport of boxing. But, like, just don't be jealous that some dude showed up and can box and is putting on good fights, and a ton of people are paying $60 for it, and it's setting records. Like, just suck
nobody's watching the mother fights.
Yeah, I mean, are you gonna?
Go ahead.
That's it. Like, are you gonna go watch your Katie Taylor fight during the day if you're so high and mighty about boxing? I bet you the people complaining aren't watching Katie Taylor fight at like 3 p.m. I bet you. You're gonna put on DAZN and watch Katie Taylor fight because you're such a pure boxing fan? No, you just want to complain about Jake Paul. They are jealous.
They are jealous. They're not gonna go download that DAZN.
Yeah, come on, get out of it. I'm sure it just bothers me, man. You go sweat Canelo Alvarez a little more.
Jamar Chase, folks, might as well go pick up Kadarius Toney, just in case something happens, something shakes loose there. Looking at the Bengals depth chart, I don't believe there's anything there as far as going to help you with the Cincinnati Bengals as far as getting more snaps and getting more opportunities and more looks at the football. So you know what you got, right? And then it's dudes like Mike Thomas, Trent Taylor. There's nothing to see there. Maybe, Sam. It's tough. It's tough. Like I said, could be Kadarius Toney and his new home. Could be somebody that can help you out a little bit. Don't know who's on your wire, but this is not a type of injury where you can go pick somebody up and pop them in there and give you the kind of numbers, the kind of production that Jamar Chase is going to give you. So you're going to have to listen. This is painful right here. This hurts.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is a high draft pick. This is an investment. This is a player that you planned your season around. And now we're halfway into it, and you could miss him for the next 6 weeks. That's tough right there.
Vaquero just wrote so much on Jamar Chase and the Bengals. He's got to go make changes.
That sucks for Vaquero as well.
Now, I like what Adam's saying. Maybe it's Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst popped, who was T. Higgins was out a couple weeks ago. Hayden Hurst had a game.
Yeah. Maybe it's Hayden Hurst. Some more targets for Hurst.
Maybe that's
but it's not going to make up for what you're missing now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to replace Jamar Chase. I wouldn't go trade for. Would you? I mean, you shouldn't be trading because of this. If you're the Jamar Chase guy, do a couple weeks and see what happens. Right.
Maybe. Like if you're a Jamar Chase guy, right, and you got to figure out a way to get through this.
Right.
It's probably not out there. You may have to trade your quarterback if you have a good one. Maybe you're sitting on Ken Walker. Maybe you got a little bit of extra. See, now, this in a situation like this is when you trade from your running back depth. Don't trade from your running back depth just because.
Right.
Now is when you go into that running back depth. If you have Foreman, if you have Ken Walker, now is when you move those players to try to get back a Devontae Adams or a Justin Jefferson or hell, a Tyler Boyd at this point. So this is a tough injury to deal with right here. You're going to have to get creative. We're here to help you get creative and figure out how you're going to get through this Jamar Chase thing. But before we continue to talk about this, as a matter of fact, Jamar Chase people, give us a call. You know what I'm saying? And we'll give you, and we'll try to help talk you through it. You know what I'm saying? With your Jamar Chase teams. Yeah. No, nobody go out there and try to get slick and trade for Jamar Chase. Don't trade for a hurt player. We could not see him again until next year. But right now, I want everybody to bow their heads, right? We gotta get our heads bowed, and then we're going to ask the big guy, the person upstairs, whoever it's a non-denominational prayer, you know what I'm saying?
That's nice.
Want everybody, yeah, I'm inclusive, right? So big guy upstairs.
They have that ready every time.
We come before you with humble hands and bow hearts. All that's kind of loud, y'all. We come before you with humble hands and bow hearts, asking you to look over our brother Jamar Chase as he goes through this injury situation. We ask you to put your hands on brother Chase in his hip area. Only your healing powers can help heal brother Chase and our fantasy teams. We know we come before you a lot, asking for help for our fantasy teams. But we know that you will be there when we need you most. And we need you most right now. We ask that you look over brother Chase when he goes to see this hip specialist. Put your powerful hands on his hips and make sure that he can come back and be with us again this year. Amen. There we go right there.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think that right there hopefully can help our Jamar Chase people. You're welcome, everybody.
I'm sure Jamar Chase probably just felt like, what was that? Whoever he is right now.
It's, whoa, I'm standing up straighter right now. What's going on?
Fine. Sit down, Hayden Hurst.
Yes, yeah. Stand up, Jamar. And he's like, hey, I'm healed. Nando, we have the tent. We have like a dude we have like the tent thing here. Twice a year they come. And they'll stay for about a month. And they'll set up a tent, and you can go to church at night in the tent. So like how you would see like kind of on TV, televangelists healing people and stuff like that. They do that out. That's very popular out here, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess nothing.
I've never been.
Anymore.
Yeah, I know, right? I've never been, but it's over there by the truck stop. So like, if some nights, I don't have nothing to fix in the house, and I need to make a quick trip to McDonald's or Subway.
Yeah,
the traffic is crazy going over there. The people be in that tent. They be in there. It'd be a lot of people be over there.
It's like the Elton John line. Like, I don't need this. I'm stuck in this line, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't come here for this.
I never went in there, though, because it always felt to me like it could be a place where something bad could happen. You know what I'm saying?
A church tent?
Yeah,
that screams something bad is going to happen to me, too, usually.
Yeah, but Second Amendment, you know what I mean? I would be ready if I went to that joint. You know what I mean? I would. No, I understand that, but still. Julio Jones' knee is expected to play tonight.
Oh, man. That's a big load of who cares.
Hey, let me tell you something. If he play tonight, guess what? He's not playing no more this season. That's it for him.
I think it's how many quarters in Julio.
Hey, listen, it's Reverend Dr. Fantasy Executive. Ain't that much prayers in the world. And then the organ comes back. Dear
Come
brother
on,
Julio,
man.
We know you on your last leg.
I can't, man. I can't watch him have a 100-yard game tonight, and it's just going to be like, and tomorrow it's going to be, well, what do we do about Julio Jones now?
That would be crazy. No, if Julio Jones have 100 yards tonight, I'm telling you, he's done. Julio can only play 1 week at a time. Julio play this week. He might play again sometime after Thanksgiving. Speaking of Thanksgiving, you got any plans for Thanksgiving?
No, nothing crazy. We don't. I mean,
Thanksgiving
I
will
love
be here
it.
before you know it.
I might take the oldest one to the parade.
Okay, you do that.
And you know what? I might have to call in a favor, our old friend Greg Sussman, and be like, just write me a note.
Yeah.
Well, no, because you got to cross 34th Street to get on the good side. Where we used to work at this hotel is like exactly where the parade turns. And we did it for a couple of years. We actually turned the cameras around on the parade and showed the parade on our network. But if you go downstairs right outside, no one's standing there because it's like almost impossible to get to. And everyone wants to be up top anyway. But like, I was right up front at the turn. Like, no one was around me. So I'm thinking, like, if that's still the case, I'll ask Greg, like, just write a note.
Yeah, we've done that before. Like working in that area, Nando, we've been able to be in places like that.
Yeah.
When we was at Jouk, that's where the parade started at. Actually,
I went there 1 year with Ronas. I made Ronas go with me 1 year.
Actually, 1 year when Kennedy and Jaden, but Kennedy was in a stroller, and she had the time of her life. They had real good seats, thanks to what we was able to do. But I remember even when I used to work at the Port Authority, 1 year on New Year's Eve, we went to the roof of the Port Authority and watched the ball drop.
Nice.
Like,
that's great.
That was real cool right there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, we was out there by ourselves. We could see the ball closer. We could see the crowd down in Times Square. So that was fun to be, and when you're working in Midtown Manhattan, sometimes those are the perks when these events like the parade and on New Year's Eve come along and stuff like that.
Right. The day I went
right now, my only perk is I seen Jamar Chase at the prayer tent.
And you got a parade out your window tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Not everyone has a privilege to just open their window and be like, hey, there's a parade.
Scotch Branch High School. It was only one dude, Jarrell Adams. I think he might have been a tight end for the Giants for a couple years.
All right.
As a graduate of Scotch Branch High School. And then, of course, Mike Williams is from right down the street. Even though he didn't go to the school that's having the parade tomorrow, he went to a school called Lake Marion, which is about 20 minutes from here. But those are like the only NFLers right now that's active right now from this area.
Corey, let me ask you a question. This is one high school doing a parade. Like, how long could this parade possibly? Is this like the town rallies around it and like they just throw everything at, like True Value has a float?
This is the only thing. Yeah, like this is the only thing in like the high school is basically what the town is kind of built around.
But just like one band?
So you might have a rival school will come down, but they'll have the band, they'll have home economics, the basketball team, the football team.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Funeral homes are very popular here for some odd reason.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Just, nothing spectacular.
I can't wait.
The real big parade is Striped Bass. When we have the Striped Bass Festival, and that's the big parade.
We got to play, like, let's do a call like before the show tomorrow and actually figure out how to like shoot the parade.
That'd be a good idea.
I would dedicate a half hour tomorrow's show after Angle comes on just to the parade. Let's just sit back and watch the parade.
Hey, but listen up, everybody.
Yeah, we gotta go.
I like the Buccaneers tonight. I don't really got no players in the NBA, and good luck. Don't overreact to Jamar Chase. Be patient, and we'll figure it out together.
And don't overreact to Julio Jones. And thank you to Shayna Goldman. Please don't. Yeah, and if you got an athletic account, just jump in the comments and take my side, please. I can't. These people whining they're gonna kill me. Thank you, everybody. Check out Jock Market. Play Jock Market tonight for free, and then you'll be ready for Sunday. Goodbye.